Welcome to the Saints That Serve podcast,
where each week your hosts dive into the crossroads of faith,
culture,
and the unknown. Christ is Lord,
and the kingdom is now. We are the Saints That Serve.
Welcome to the Saints That Serve podcast with your host, Johnny and
Johnny.
Johnny.
And
Jairus.
I'm Jairus. And I'm Johnny.
We hope you enjoyed our month of October themed episodes.
That's right. Spooky season is now over.
Officially over. Now we are getting into our one-off election episode.
That's right. Some electoral education.
Yep. So our goal here is to give you some information, have some fun, and get into God's Word. So that's what we're going to try and tackle tonight. Before we get started, make sure that you like our episodes, our podcast episodes, make sure you like our podcast. And if you can, please just share it.
Yeah, I was going to say, please just give us a share. I think that's...
Tell your friends.
That's what we need right now is to spread this.
Yeah, spread it out.
Guys, we need this. No.
If you like it, if you're listening to it every week, or if you're regularly coming back and checking us out, if you don't mind just
sharing what you enjoy.
Yeah, telling people about it, posting it on social media, whatever. It helps us grow to reach more people. We're not advertising, like we're not putting money into advertisement. We're just organically trying to grow this.
Mm-hmm. And if you're out here hate listening, share it with all your buddies and tell them, I hate listening to this. You should hate listen to it too.
Yeah. So like and share and comment. We love seeing the comments.
Yeah, we love seeing what you're saying.
And we respond to them. So if you will comment on the episodes, we will respond to it. Sometimes we drop names. So, if your name's in there, we'll call you out in a loving way.
So my, speaking of loving way, my beautiful wife, told me that she was a little jealous that we called out Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
And in last week's episode where we created the Tyler segue.
Yeah.
And so we're still going to be using the Tyler segue. So sorry, wife. You get your own segment later.
Yeah. So make sure you're just sharing, commenting, liking.
Right.
We are on X. We are on Instagram. We are on Threads. We are on Facebook. We're on all of it. So just check us out.
What in the world is Threads?
It is.
I keep seeing that pop up.
It's literally just a commenting version of Instagram. So it's not about the pictures. It's about just comments.
I got you.
I don't fully get it, but we're on it.
Are we actually on it?
We're on it. Yeah.
Okay. See, this guy over here manages our social media. So
yeah. So check us out. Saints That Serve Pod is what we are on all those platforms.
Mm-hmm. So if it's part of Instagram, does it already exist after you create the Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then we also have an email, and it's thesaintsthatserve@gmail.com. You can reach out to us that way, give us feedback. Maybe if you got like a cool idea for a segment, shoot that our way. We'd love to incorporate things that you guys come up with.
That's also how you can get on the Discord.
And that's how you can join our Discord, where you get to see all of our show notes and comments that we make back and forth. And then we've also got a page for our Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd like to join our online, very low commitment Bible study that we're doing, just send us an email or reach out to us through our social, and we'll get you set up on the Discord. We're still going through the book of Genesis. So,
and what chapter is that now this week?
We are about to go into chapter 3. So
nice.
Very, very slow, but that's fine. That's good.
That is perfectly okay.
Yep. So
and speaking of numbers, did we say what episode number this is?
We didn't. You want to roll the D20?
That's going to be crazy if it actually lands on the number. Hold on. Apparently we're on episode 12. No. This is episode 8.
There you go. That was
It's
about
episode
right
8
for a 12. Yeah. This is episode 8
of the Saints That Serve podcast,
Saints That Serve podcast,
where Christ is Lord
and the kingdom is now. That's
Mhm.
right. One more thing before we get into the episode. We do Pray For You Friday, where we come together as a community and just we're praying. So if you need prayer for anything, reach out to us. Obviously, you can do it throughout the week, but we come together as a group to pray on Friday. So reach out to us through social or through that email and just send us your prayer requests and we will be praying for you. So do that. And with that, that's it on announcements. So let's get in. Oh, no. We got a big one. You wanna share what we're doing?
Wow, you almost forgot about it.
I almost forgot, dude.
So we talked about this last week, and we're going to talk about it this week.
Yep.
And
no, it's tomorrow.
And tomorrow. Yeah, I was going to say tomorrow. So today is the November 4th, right?
Mm-hmm.
November 4th. So this episode 4, November 4th. So, episode 8, November 4th. Tomorrow, November 5th, you get to see our faces live. So because we are doing our election episode on, what is that?
On November 5th. No, we're doing our election episode
today,
November 4th. Mm-hmm. And we're doing our live stream on November 5th.
And what we're doing is we're just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this time, we're halfway jokes. We're serious half the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, this is a stressful time. So what we're going to do, we're just going to hang out. We're just going to hang out and just spend time playing games.
Yep.
Just making our jokes. And we'll, as the night progresses, we're going to, be monitoring the election stats. And just be... Wow. I mean, yeah. Pretty sus.
Yeah. No, but yeah, we're just going to be hanging out, playing board games, playing around with soundboard, doing all kinds of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to be praying over the night.
And checking in on how the election is going. Be praying over the candidates as the night goes on. And really, we'll be live from like 8 to 11?
I think that let's plan on 8 to 11, but if the night carries us on, we will carry on.
Carry on my wayward son.
Easy. You don't want us to be copyrighted because of how good that sounded.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
So, yeah. So that live stream is going to be on YouTube and Twitch. On the Saints That Serve podcast on YouTube and the Saints That Serve on Twitch.
Do you know what we should do?
What's that?
This is me just in the moment thinking something up. So I guess this is
hit me with it.
We should do a show prep live on Twitch so that every night that we come to record, we just turn the Twitch live stream on. And it's just until we're about to start recording.
And when we start actually recording,
then we turn it off. That way you can't get the actual episode
until later, but
you get to see us and hang out with us while we're.
That'd be cool if it was kind of like a corner camera that kind of just gives the idea. So there's not really any sound; it's just music playing, and it's like an hour of just hey, you hang out, and watch us prep, and then I think we could even do it during the episode if there's no audio on what is going on.
Well, but I think part of the entertainment is hearing us joking around while we're prepping.
True.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
So, but then it's like, hey, we're going to actually do the episode now. So you don't get it until it's released. See you later.
Hey, listeners, if you want to see us prep for the podcast, let us know. We'll do that.
Yeah. Let us know if that's something you'd put on in the background as a live stream while you're doing whatever you're doing. And we'll make it happen.
That's right.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. Are you ready?
Hold on, let me make sure. So we talked about the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Just be out on watching on the socials for any more details of anything we might have forgot. So,
yeah, but we'll get it out there. But yeah, just be ready for when this comes out tomorrow.
Yeah,
for our live stream. If you just are fed up with actual politics and political jargon, but you want to keep up to date with the election. come join us. We'll keep you up to date, but
Yeah.
we'll have fun doing it.
So I know I just said, hey, be out on the socials for that, but it's going to be too late at this point. So
yeah. But yeah. All right. Are you ready?
yes.
Okay.
So
Tyler, we are moving into our first segment.
which is what?
We are reviewing the...
Hold on.
Oh,
wait.
Sorry.
Let's lead up to it. Wait, don't play it yet.
Okay.
So we talked about it a little bit, and we're like, what could we do that's a little different than what we've done already? And so we decided to review some food.
Yep.
So our local fast food dinery is doing a special promotion on a very special burger off of a beloved children's cartoon.
Time for the moment you've been waiting for.
What's this?
Whoa.
Wow. I'm so excited.
What could it be?
This is amazing.
Wow.
Jeez, this is long. This video says 5 hours. How long is he going to keep doing this?
5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Preparing the Krabby Patty.
Yeah, we ate the Krabby Patty at Wendy's.
Yeah. So I'm not a big SpongeBob guy. I've seen some of it. I'm kind of in the loop for some of the humor. But Juris is the SpongeBob guy.
I watched SpongeBob the very first time they ever aired it as like a late night. Like aired it after like the Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah.
It's like, check out this new cartoon when I was like 8 years old.
Wow.
Like, this is a sneak preview of it, and they showed the first episode. And I've watched SpongeBob my whole life. But a quick little thing about SpongeBob is they made 3 seasons of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
The creator of the show left the show, and then it kind of lost the magic that SpongeBob was.
Yeah.
So even though there's like 20-something seasons of SpongeBob, the only really good seasons are like the first 3 seasons and the first movie. So they're just saying that out right now. So any SpongeBob references are going to be from, more than likely, the first 3 seasons.
Got it.
So, but yeah, we went, I went just not too long ago. I stopped by Wendy's, and we're going to start there with that whole experience.
Okay.
Rewind real quick, though. I have ate this before a couple of weeks ago when it first came out with my wife.
Gotcha.
Yes. So with that being said about that, I am comparing the 2 experiences side by side.
Okay.
Because my first experience with the Krabby Patty was...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't cued. Sorry.
That, exactly. It was doo-doo. I'm going to take away your soundboard privileges.
Sorry. Okay, I'm done.
No, I'm kidding. So I left work, went by the Wendy's. The drive-through was not that long.
Yeah.
Got up to the speaker, and the immediately lady's like, "Hey, we're out of all drinks. Well, all we have is lemonade. Are you okay with that?" Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not getting lemonade.
Yeah.
So I ordered 2 Krabby Patty meals, pulled up to the window, and waited 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just watching them the whole time, standing around doing nothing. Like, what is going on with this?
It's ridiculous.
So finally got back here. And starting with this now, and I think you saw the look on my face when I unwrapped this burger.
Yeah.
It was 2 times larger than the first time I got the sandwich.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So not only was this a double patty sandwich.
Yeah.
The first time it was like that Dave's single $1 sandwich. The first time it's super small. They forgot the tomatoes and the onions and all that stuff that was supposed to come with it the first time.
Yeah.
And then this time it's double the size with it. Came with everything it was supposed to be. It was a double cheeseburger with tomatoes, lettuce, onions, and it's supposed to have like this special sauce on it. So I guess getting into the thoughts on it, it was tremendously better this time than the first time.
Okay.
But the sandwich was just a Wendy's sandwich with some sauce on it.
With a very close McDouble sauce.
It did taste kind of like a Big Mac sauce on it.
Yeah.
So I will say that the sandwich was good, but nothing special about the sandwich that made me say, "Oh wow, this is SpongeBob." Wow, I had the Krabby Patty. Whoa.
Yeah.
So I think honestly, looking at the promotional material, it was not supposed to be a double. I think they just gave us doubles.
That's beautiful.
So, and then with it too came a special edition Frosty, pineapple Frosty, because SpongeBob lives in a pineapple.
Yep. Wait, who lives in a pineapple?
SpongeBob under the sea.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So it wasn't, that flavor was not pineapple. That was not even remotely pineapple.
It was the artificial pineapple.
Even that, like, it tasted like mango syrup or something. So I watched them make it. So they like pumped like the sauce into the bottom of the cup and then just dispensed vanilla Frosty into it.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't even mix it up. It's just vanilla Frosty on top of some syrup.
Yep.
And that's how it is when you eat it. I don't know if you're supposed to mix it up. I ate it how they handed it to me.
Yeah, same.
And so
well, how they handed it to you. That's how it
yeah.
Yeah.
So
so you were just sitting there and then like they did a couple squirts of something in your cup and you're like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's pineapple." And then you were like,
seems suspicious.
Right.
So yeah, like you get to like it's vanilla the whole way through until you get to the bottom and you get like this really sweet syrup.
Yeah.
At the bottom in your last few bites by the time you're already tired of this Frosty. After eating a double pattied hamburger.
Yeah.
And it also came with regular old fries.
Regular old fries.
So that's my opinion on it. Like it's a regular sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a regular burger. There's nothing special about it.
It's truly a promotional. It's nothing
in every way. Like
yeah.
you go, and what's so crazy is they went really extra on the promotional material. Like instead of taking pictures of this burger, they actually like drew it in kind of like an art style that's shown in SpongeBob.
Yeah. They
sometimes have like this weird, like painting hyper detailed cartoony images sometimes in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And that's the style they had all the promotional material for this. So all the pictures is not even like even what a real sandwich would look like.
Well, for social, Wendy's actually put out a video, and it was that video that we just had play.
Mm-hmm.
And the only difference was they added "now at Wendy's" at the very end of it.
Oh, we should have played that one.
And that was it. But yeah, because I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think of the sandwich?
I think I'm in the same box as you. Like, there's nothing that screams like this is a special sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad.
No.
But
I will say my first one was bad.
Yeah.
So
I will say that it did taste a little different than the normal patties at Wendy's.
Do you think it's because they had that sauce on it?
No, it wasn't the sauce, because there was a lot of bites that had no sauce for me.
I feel like they went really light on the sauce. They could have gone more with the sauce. If they would have gone more with the sauce, and it would have added that distinct taste that would have made this unique.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what killed the sandwich is the lack of any unique flavoring to this sandwich. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure it was like Thousand Island dressing on it or something.
Yeah, probably so. And so it didn't taste like crab, like the theory that that's what it's actually made out of in SpongeBob.
You're telling me that the Krabby Patty is made out of crabs?
Yeah, that's why Mr. Krabs is the only crab in Bikini Bottom.
That's not true.
Is there another one?
Yeah, his mother. Mr. Krabs' mom.
Oh, yeah.
There is an episode.
There's another one. There's another one that it's made out of a dead whale.
Oh, that theory.
Yeah, the only reason he's raising his daughter.
Because his daughter is a whale.
Daughter's away.
Because he adopted her when he killed her parents.
Yep.
In the show, they make a joke that it's made out of plankton. Like,
oh, yeah?
Yeah, because, like, I think that they kind of, like, debunked that in the episode. It was like that they said, like, oh, it's made out of plankton to scare away Mr. Krabs' competition.
Yeah.
Plankton.
Yeah.
So, like, he gets the formula, opens up the book, and it's just like the secret ingredient is, it's just a picture of him. So, I was seriously, SpongeBob's really funny.
Yeah.
It's it was, in all intents and purposes, a family show. There was jokes in it that were really funny.
Yeah.
And even to this day, if I do watch it, I still laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's really cleverly written.
Fun lore for the JJCU.
Oh, that's right, JJCU.
Janelle was in the SpongeBob the Musical
Mm-hmm.
in one of her performances.
Mm-hmm. She was
The computer.
Karen,
Yeah.
the computer wife to Plankton.
Yep.
So, moral of the story, next time we do this segment, we'll find some better food.
Yeah. We'll do something crazy like the
Heart attack burger.
yeah, something.
What is that place where, like,
Vortex.
is it the Vortex? No, what's the place that, I think it's literally called Heart Attack Burger, where you have to wear like a patient's gown, a hospital gown. And they have this burger that's massive, and like you don't have to pay for it if you finish it, but it's like 20 burgers in one burger kind of thing, like the amount of food in it.
Jeez.
And like if you weigh a certain amount, you get to eat your food for free, and it's like over 500 pounds or something like that.
If you weigh over 500?
Yeah, they have a scale outside the restaurant, and if you weigh over 500 pounds, then you get to eat for free.
No one that weighs over 500 pounds is traveling. There's no way.
They are traveling to this restaurant to eat for free
They're not.
every day. And they lose, like,
That's how they keep their physique.
they take 3 steps, lose 100 pounds. Like, I got to build it back up. So I go to Heart Attack Burger.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, Krabby Patty, subpar, but does it bring back any kind of childhood nostalgia?
I did not bite into that burger and go,
Got it.
my heart did not laugh like SpongeBob. I'm sorry.
Got it. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for that
Mm-hmm.
review.
20,
It's okay.
what do you give it out of 10? I will say the price between the two of us, $24
For two people
for two people to
a
eat some burger.
meal. Yeah.
Fast food burger.
Fast food burger.
$24, not worth the price.
Yeah, not worth the price. I'm gonna give it, as far as burgers go,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it like a 3.
Really?
It's not it's not that it's like it tastes disgusting, but it does not stand out in any way to any kind of burger.
What is your favorite fast food burger to have?
My favorite fast food burger is a Dairy Queen flamethrower.
Mm.
That boy is good.
I like me a double quarter pounder
Okay.
at McDonald's.
I like the flamethrower because it's like you can do, either a single or like up to a triple, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because they charboil their patties. They're not like smash patties or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got their flame sauce and pepper jack cheese on it. So it just makes it a really spicy burger, but it's good.
Second option, really, if we're talking about a normal hamburger, double quarter pounder, which by the way is currently got like some disease in them right now, the meat. Yeah, McDonald's, like everything for that burger is being recalled right now.
Do you remember that online Zelda game? It was like someone did a mock of, it was everything Zelda, like the names and everything, but it was kind of making fun of Zelda. Do you remember playing that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in it, like you can go into this restaurant to get food. I think they even made it at McDonald's. Maybe not, but the joke was like you go and harvest meat, like rotten flesh from somewhere, and then you take it to the restaurant and they buy it from you to make their burgers.
Oh my. Sorry. E. coli outbreak linked to McDonald's quarter pounders, 1 dead and 49 sickened.
Whoa.
Yep. So
That's crazy. All right, Tyler, we're moving on.
no, we're not.
You're done? You're not done?
I was going to say, like, I like a good double quarter pounder, but my actual favorite sandwich,
Oh, sorry.
real quick, is a Crystal's burger.
Crystal's Burger. Yeah.
If you're talking about wanting to get really unhealthy, Crystal's burger. My wife, anytime I eat Crystal, she's like, you have to gargle and brush your teeth 3 times before you kiss me because your breath smells. Yeah, she gets so I wouldn't say upset, but she's very like, I can taste that stupid burger every time I kiss you after you eat it.
That's funny.
So, by the way, just so you know, when you're married, you can kiss your wife.
Yeah.
So
you can kiss them enough to where apparently you can taste them. So,
all right, Tyler, moving on.
All right, so we're going to get into our candidates for the presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in Georgia. So on the Georgia ballot, you already know this because you already... No, you don't. Never mind. I'm thinking of somebody else. So anyways, dude, I can't believe I did that. I just mixed you up with Patrick. Shout out to Patrick.
What's up, Patrick?
We love you. So anyways, the candidates on the ballot are Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. We all know those two.
No, you need to do like the full, like really professional, like their whole full name like they do.
Oh.
But make it up. Make up the middle name for each.
I don't know what Kamala's middle and I don't know any.
Just make something up.
Okay. All right. Donald Tobias Trump, Kamala. What's a girl middle name?
It's funny if you, Tiffany.
Kamala Tiffany. No, it's got to be 2. Marianne.
Tiffany.
Kamala Tiffany Marianne Harris. And then there's 4 more candidates
for Georgia.
That are on the Georgia ballot. There's Chase Oliver. He's running Libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
There's Jill Stein. She's running on the Green ticket. And then there's 2 independents, Claudia de la Cruz and Cornel West.
So no Bob Barr?
No Bob Barr. There is a write-in option. So if anyone wants to write in Joe Rogan or Harambe, that is an option as well.
Also, Johnny right here is also an option you can write in.
Yeah. Just do, or just write Saints That Serve.
Yeah, just both of us. Just Saints That
Serve.
Lead.
We can co-lead. That's fine.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write in the Saints That Serve.
Perfect.
So both of us we're both president and vice president co-leaders.
I love it. We're both simultaneously the president and the vice president.
That's right. Hold on? I'm going to get us off track a little bit, but just because it's still irrelevant to a jury. Do you remember when we were going to run for the water commissioner?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And we never ended up doing that? I wanted to so bad to do that. And the reason why I bring it up is that I saw that when looking at the list of possible candidates, like on the voting ticket for Georgia, that person is. So the first time I saw it 4 years ago, it was only write-in only.
Yeah.
And me and Johnny were going to do a live stream where we were going to debate each other to who would be the water commissioner for our local area.
Yeah.
And so, and that would have been hilarious. I would have loved to have done that. But then I saw that actual role is now filled and uncontested.
Yeah. There's several of those on our ballot, specifically for Cobb County. There's like, so for State Senate District 33, there's only one guy on the ballot. And it's the guy who's already in the seat.
Yeah.
For the tax commissioner for Cobb County, it's Carla Jackson, and there's nobody else on the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And are there any other ones? For State House of the Representatives, District 38, David Wilkerson, no one else.
So on any of those, when you go to vote, if you don't know who this person is, keep in mind, write in Saints That Serve.
Yep. For District Attorney, Cobb Judicial Circuit, Sonia F. Allen. So it's like there's
several positions.
Positions that they're just going to get it because there's nobody else competing for it.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's another point to kind of prove that, like, I think it kind of gets muddled in the whole larger presidential election. There is other things to be voting on.
Yeah.
There's so many positions that you could have a say-so locally.
Yeah, and there's a couple of constitutional amendments that like nobody knows about, and it's like you need to know about this because some of these amendments are like, no, we don't need that. That's just going to.
I'm sure, isn't there one that's like raised taxes for something or another?
So one is provides for a statewide Georgia tax court. So it's another court that focuses on taxes for Georgia.
We need less taxes.
We need less government. We don't need more government. That's where I stand. I hope that didn't give me away where I stand, but I don't think we need more government.
I mean, and your opinion is valid in that sense.
That's true.
So
you know what? Yeah.
What you want is valid.
Yeah.
So those are the people. Do you have anybody else that you want to shout out on the ballot?
No. Those are. I was just naming all the for our county specifically, not to dox us or anything, but on our ballot, there's several guys that are they're incumbent and they're running uncontested.
Mm-hmm.
So
keep in mind, we want to run the water and the taxes for our local county. So write us in.
And there is only one person on the ballot for Cobb County Soil and Water Conservation District Supervisor.
Mm-hmm, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah. So there's an incumbent there. And
so when we're around in 4 years, or the next time we have a local election, we're going to be like whatever role is open, me and John are going to have a debate live stream on who between the two of us we think you should vote for in the write-in. I can't wait. I was so excited the last time we had that idea.
Yeah.
And it just never panned out where we had time to do a professional looking stage for a debate.
Yeah.
So
all right, so getting into the kind of the main two runners is like no one really knows. I know that I personally didn't really know anything about the other, like the Libertarian and Green Party and the independents, because like the only independent that I knew about was Kennedy, and he pulled out.
Yeah.
So
and he's
not on the Georgia ballot.
He endorsed Trump, right?
I believe so. Yeah. He endorsed Donald Trump. But he didn't take his name off all the ballots. So it's like he stopped running.
Oh, he stopped it. But was it too late to remove himself from the ballot is what it was?
I don't know. I don't want to say what it was because I really don't know why his name's still on the ballot.
Without any information, our guess is that could not remove himself from the ballot. So he stopped endorsing himself, but he's still there.
I think hearsay, he kept his name on the ballot as a way to combat the Democrats because he's very much so against the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was his mindset behind it. Like, let's reduce them getting votes because there's a lot of people that they just will not vote for Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
It has
nothing to do with
parties or politics or anything.
They strictly, I don't like the man, so I'm voting against him.
They don't want to vote for Donald Trump. So, but I've got the two main, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, their websites pulled up.
Marianne Tiffany Harris, sorry. And then Donald
Tobias
Trump.
So I've got their websites pulled up. And on the websites, they have links to a PDF file that kind of talks over their plans.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to link that in the show notes for people to look over if you want to look at what they say is their official platform that they're running on for this election. So Donald Trump has 20 core promises, and it's on his website. Like you click on his website, and it's on the main page, first thing you see. So I'm not going to read through them, but they're there. And
they're very Republican.
His focus, if I had to summarize it, is getting the border under control, getting the economy in a positive,
right,
out of the negative.
And negative out of the debt and
Yeah, try to bring more jobs back to America and give more money to working Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And then, kind of the more conservative moral stances. One thing I do want to point out, because they said this in the debate, and it's on, not to like, I'm not pro-Trump and I'm not pro-Kamala either way. Okay. But me as a third party individual who's just trying to figure out who to vote for, Kamala Harris's campaign has put it out there. She said it in the debate, and it's on her website that his agenda is what's called Project 2025.
Right.
And nowhere on his website does it have anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And they have said, his campaign is vocally outspoken, said that they're not doing that. But
in that he's actually against Project 2025.
Yeah. But Kamala's saying that he is, and it's on her website. So anyone who goes to look her up, they're going to see Trump's Project 2025 agenda. And to me, it's like, okay, wait a minute. Is Trump lying to the public and behind closed doors he's got this plan, or he's on board with this plan? Or is the Kamala, Marianne, Tiffany Harris campaign lying to the American people about her opponent?
What I'm hearing is somebody's lying.
Somebody's lying. So that's all I have to say. But like when I pulled her website up to look over kind of what she has to say that she's for, she's got a list of things on here. And then at the very bottom of her list so all of that's in blue. And then in red, it says Trump's Project 2025 agenda.
So she's pro-Trump's 2025 agenda?
Yeah, no, it's a drop. Like all her different things are drop-down menus. And so at the bottom of it's a drop-down menu. And then, so it goes build an opportunity economy and lower cost for families. And then it has a bunch of drop-down menus and then Trump's Project 2025 agenda.
Okay.
And then safeguard our fundamental freedoms. A couple of drop-down menus. Trump's 2025 agenda drop-down menu. Ensure safety and justice for all. Couple of drop-downs at the bottom. Trump's Project 2025.
Wait, so each section has...
At the bottom of it, Trump's Project 2025 agenda.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's... I'm like, wait a minute. Why does she keep on... Why does her campaign keep on, like, putting out there at the end of everything that they're saying they're going to do, they put out this rhetoric that... And this is what Trump's going to do when you go, because we have the ability to just Google search. When you go to Trump's website, it's not on there at all.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere does it have a Project 2025. In fact, he's got all of his core platform issues listed, just like her, and none of them have to do with that.
So which website, I guess, in your opinion, I haven't been able to see it. You've got the computer, not me.
No.
Which website is more clear on what the candidate has a stance on?
Donald Trump's website is very clear on what he wants to do when he gets elected.
Okay.
Kamala Harris's website's better. Like it's put together better. And she's got a lot of things on her website that say like, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But it's not really like, this is what we want to do. But there's not really like a
clear cut.
This is how we're going to do it. Like I read a couple of things on the PDF file, and basically what it was like, this is the issue. We're going to solve it. And how we're going to solve it is by getting more government involved in whatever the thing is. So I was like, well, once again, not a big Trump guy, not a big Kamala, Marianne, Tiffany Harris guy. Either way. But there's one thing I do not want more of, and that's the government.
Right.
So, I'm not trying to dog anybody or anything. I'm just trying to live in peace, and share my faith and just love people like Christ tells me to love them. So that's what my goal is. But if I have to work like a dog every second of every day to be able to pay taxes, then, you know, it can be hard to just live life when you're spending all your money that you need to feed your family with on taxes. And so in my mind, and this might just be me being ignorant and simple-minded, but in my mind, the more government that there is, then that means the more taxes I have to pay.
To help fund that.
Fund all these government things. So to me, anytime that I hear anything about more government, I'm like, I don't want that.
No, thank you. Click no on that vote box.
So that's my big thing. If I had to give a con for Donald Trump,
he's a right nasty man.
I would say, yeah, his delivery, he can get kind of, not kind of, the way that he chooses to talk about people, not great. Not what you really look for in a leader. So I am very, like, that's one of the reasons I'm not a big Trump guy, is because it's like, listen, like, you know, when I look at leadership in the Bible, like I look at, it's people I want to look up to. I don't really look up to him.
No.
So that's my big thing with him. However, when it comes to policy, I would say that I am more aligned with the Republican Party, not on everything, but I swing more that way. And the biggest thing, and everyone's going to call me a one-issue voter on this, but the Democratic Party is very pro-choice, and I am 100% anti-abortion.
As most Christians should be.
Are supposed to be. Correct. God has...
Not most, all.
All Christians should be against terminating the life of a human being. So, you know, people like to get into the minutia of like, well, what if it's...
Yeah, very specific details and specific situations. As a whole, as Christians, we should be anti-abortion.
Correct. And all those details or all those scenarios, they actually account for a very small minority of documented abortions that are happening now in the United States. So to me, you don't get to bring those things up if they're not relevant, and they're not relevant because most abortions that are happening out of preference to the mother, and has
not out of health and safety.
Not out of health and safety, not out of an attack of some kind. It's just I slipped up.
I messed up. I did something I shouldn't have done. I wasn't prepared for, and this is my choice, my body, my choice, and I am out here taking the life of something, of a person, because I'm not prepared for the consequences of my actions.
Yeah. In their defense, most of them do not consider they're taking the life of a person. They have bought into the ideology of the secularism of our country, saying that it is not human until it has been born. And it's viable on its own, even though a baby's not viable on its own. It needs its mother for years. But until it has been birthed, it is just, they say clump of cells. It's just something inside you. Some people like to get really graphic and say it's a parasite. And it's like, what the heck?
Right.
Dude?
Which is wild to me because, you can be fined up to $50,000 if you crush a turtle egg or a bird egg of some, like a rare bird egg.
Yeah, most states, if you kill a pregnant woman and the baby dies as well, you will get charged with a double homicide. But yet, you know, when they did the Roe v. Wade thing, it was like, well, now you got to make all abortions legal for people.
And again, and that's, if I'm not mistaken, when they put the choice of abortion back to the states, undoing Roe v. Wade, right?
Correct.
That's all that was allowing the states to decide, not
the federal
government. We want less government.
Correct. Less government And overturning Roe v. Wade, all it did was made it 100% the states. The states get to decide what they're going to do on this particular, issue. And so I watched the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't know anything about anything, it would be, and I just took what she said at face value, Kamala Harris. Donald Trump wants to get into the clinical examination room with these pregnant women and their doctors and take away their fundamental rights of healthcare, is the way that it's worded.
What about the fundamental right to life for a unborn human?
Exactly. It is a human being that is in there, and at the moment of conception, it is a human being. People like to argue about whatever. The reality is there's an all-powerful God who creates life, and when he puts life inside of the womb of a mother, it is his image, because he says that in Genesis chapter 1, he has created man in his own image. So all human life is the image bearer of God, and killing a baby inside the womb because it's inconvenient for you to have them is a mockery and an insult to God. And it is, and this is me you're going to be like, oh, you're just super conspiratorial Christian nut. And the reality is our society is fully engaged in the baby sacrificing worship of these old Eastern god deities, that in order for you to worship them to get their blessings, you had to offer your children up to them and pass your children through the fire. So, when we talk about things like Chemosh and Balak and these different deities, and people are like, what the heck is that? I don't even know what that is. I was like, yeah, well, that's because they go by a different name now. And in America, it's Planned Parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is. People who take the lives of babies, they're doing it as a ritualistic worship to whatever they claim is their God. And they may be in denial of it. They may deny it to your face, but truly, 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 we are worshiping baby eating demons. That's what we're doing. And
not what I'm personally doing.
But as a society,
right.
If we condone abortion, we are condoning the worship of demonic forces that like slaughtering the image of God in baby form.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am 100% against that. And I got very graphic about it because I needed to be emphatically clear. I do not agree with abortion of human life whatsoever. I think it is demonic. So, Kamala Harris has decided to make that a key platform that she's running on. So just to make it clear for everyone, if you weren't sure, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So whether or not I vote for Donald Trump or one of these other libertarian or third party options, I'll decide that. But because the Democratic Party has decided to make pro-abortion a top issue, it has made it clear to me that I cannot vote for them. So, but yeah, all the rest of her stuff, like that's one of the few things that's clear. Like that's what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is pretty vague. Like it's kind of like a word salad.
Like she does when she gets up.
Yeah, like I do. When I was reading her website, either I'm just really simple and I just don't understand the way that they're wording it.
The problem with that is if you are appealing to the population as a whole, why make it difficult to read if you actually have something in there that means something?
Well, and here's the other thing. Anything that she says or posts on her website automatically brings her under the spotlight for scrutiny to say, so why haven't you Because she's been vice president.
Because you're vice president.
You've been in office and you have been silent and you haven't been doing anything that we know of. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm willing to be corrected on that, but I haven't heard anything that she's done. I heard that she was supposed to be in charge of the southern border, and that's kind of gotten out of control.
What was it in her interview where it's like, have you been to the border? No, and I've never been to Europe. What's your point? Like, what your point is you're the border czar. Why haven't you gone down to the border?
Yeah, I'm not too crazy into this stuff. So I just wanted to make it clear. Like, my biggest thing is I don't know what she's doing because I haven't really, what little bit of stuff I've looked into for her. Mm-hmm. It's not clear what she's doing.
Right. And you've made up your mind because of the abortions already. Because
of the abortion stance, I really am not going to vote for the Democratic nominee because I don't want to make it like it's just Kamala Harris. It is the Democratic Party specifically has decided to be pro-abortion.
Right.
So that's my main reason why I'm not voting Democrat. A thing that was concerning that I saw the other day, I don't know if it's edited or whatever.
So I know what you're bringing up.
Yeah.
We have another angle on it. For all intents and purposes, I believe this is real.
Yeah. So she was at a rally.
And I wanted to bring this up too, because I watched something today about it, but continue.
Well, and I think she was talking about that. She was talking about abortion. And someone in the crowd says, Christ is Lord or Jesus is Lord.
And the kingdom is now.
And something along those lines.
Yeah.
It was us.
It was us.
No, but they point out Christ is Lord. Mm-hmm. And then her response is, you're at the wrong alley or you're at the wrong rally. And I was like, what? Why would you even say that?
Right.
Are Christians not allowed to be at your...
Essentially, if what she said is pretty easy to interpret this the way, because it was very blatant. It wasn't a mumble. She very directly said, after they said in the crowd, Jesus is Lord.
Yeah.
She said, you're at the wrong rally.
Yeah.
Essentially saying, Christians are not welcome at my rallies.
Yeah. Yeah, not necessarily saying that, but like
it's
implying like if you're a Christian, you should be at the Donald Trump.
Because her next words were, you need to be at that other smaller rally down the street.
Yeah,
insulting and saying, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
And you need to go down to the other rally, which the video I was watching essentially said, yeah, you, like, as you said, you don't have to specifically support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But as Christians, with the things that the Democratic Party supports and what they want to vote in, we should not as Christians be voting for the Democratic Party. We are not welcome. It's apparent we are not welcome, and they support the views and ideology of things that oppose us as Christians.
Yeah.
So as Christians, if she doesn't support us, doesn't represent us, we don't need to support her. Now, like you said, there are other options besides Donald Trump if you don't like him.
Yeah.
But I implore you, if you are only not voting for Trump because you don't like the man, because he's a nasty man, to look into what he actually is going to do.
Yeah.
Don't vote if you are looking at other options. Look at what he is going to do for you, not the mean things he said.
Yeah. Yep. Look what he's going to do for you, and look at what he's going to do.
For Gondor!
No, but yeah, okay, and conspiracy side of me, right, who looks into all this stuff and doesn't really know how much of it's actual, like, solid, meaty substance. Kamala Harris is linked into this whole hurricane targeting.
Oh, yeah, what we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, what we talked about, which I apologize, everybody, that I haven't put my notes out about that. I'm still...
They'll be there.
I work full time and do the podcast on the side, so give me some grace, and I'll try to get together those notes about the different things with the whole mining lithium and the grants and all that stuff. But allegedly her husband, Kamala Marianne Tiffany Harris's husband,
Which name is Bob Tiffany Marianne Harris.
I don't know anything about him.
It's crazy they share very similar names.
He has financial investment in this company.
The company that's
going to mine. Mm-hmm. And so to me, it's like, okay, if her federal government approved the mining of lithium in North Carolina, in Western North Carolina, and then the government moved a storm to hit the exact area where they want to mine that lithium to clear people out, then to me, and this is just me being very biased about it, not that not saying like I'm pro Trump, I'm just saying this is me saying I do not like her and her campaign and her government if she's the one who is directly responsible for the killing of hundreds of Americans. Because that storm killed hundreds of Americans.
All for profit.
Solely
in a company that she has some form of stake in.
And you could say like, well, they didn't mean to kill anybody. They just wanted to, clear them out. It's like, what?
Okay.
If you destroy properties by flooding, there will be casualties. The question is...
Making the decision to move that storm, if this is true...
Allegedly,
is condemning people no matter what. Whether I didn't intentionally kill them. I gave them an opportunity to leave, all that. No, you directed a storm.
Well, but that's the thing. The people in North Carolina did not have time to leave.
Oh, that's right, because it got redirected.
It redirected, and there wasn't a heads up like, hey, the storm's coming your way. You might want to move. And it's the mountains of North Carolina. They don't have flood insurance because they don't have floods.
Because they're in the mountains.
And so it's like, even if there was a hurricane that like blew in from the East Coast and hit the Carolinas, the people in Western North Carolina are not going to pack up their homes and leave. Because they've like, it just doesn't have, I think the last time that they had a flood in that
I was about to ask
100 years ago.
I was about to ask, how many times have they in recent history been hit by a hurricane in general?
Well, and that's not just that it was a hurricane. It's just a flood that like caused a lot of damage in that area.
It was 100 years.
It was 100 years ago. So, but this one was, they already had a lot of water going on, and then they got hit with the hurricane, and it just decimated.
Yeah.
I mean, Asheville is in shambles, and there's still, here we are, what are we on week 3 now after the hurricane?
3 or 4.
And they're still looking for people.
Jeez.
We still don't have a tally of how many people have actually like died from this storm because they're still trying to find people. So, it is it's very painful as an American to see that, and then just see all the coincidences revolving around it with the approval of mining lithium, and trying to get that ball rolling. And it's like, okay.
Are they already up there trying to mine the lithium?
Not that I know of. I don't know.
I was going to say, it'd be real crazy if they're up there like, people are missing, and they're up there like, all right, get your pickaxes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they've started it. I just know that the process has begun to like get a mine up and running. So this is all hearsay. It's allegedly. Maybe we have no idea how to control storms. Maybe the federal government is not involved in any way. But there's just a lot of coincidences revolving around the decimation of American communities, plural communities, and deaths of Americans on American soil. And if the federal government steered that storm for the sole intention of clearing an area out of population
for profit
to mine for their Green Deal agenda, to make a greener earth using electric vehicles and batteries and stuff.
Make the earth more green by clearing out the meat bags.
Yeah. But, we're under, if it's true, we're under a tyrannical government.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't care about the lives of their citizens if they're willing to kill them to set up a mine for the 1%.
Well, we'll say this now. Like, even if, let's say, we have more evidence showing that it seems like they don't care as a government. Like, why would you allow just wide open borders bringing in so many people when we're already struggling and you're letting more people in, adding to the stress on the country?
Mm-hmm. And it's not being talked about at all. Wildfires in Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
Totally destroying that area that it's in. I don't even know anything about it because I can't find anything about it. But I know that it's happening, and the government is not talking about it or dealing with it. Social media is not talking about it, and the news, traditional media, is not talking about it. But it's happening. So we come back around to it. It's like, why are Americans being left out to dry and dying in droves, and their lives being upended and destroyed, and our government, who's in the middle of an election cycle, has an opportunity. I mean, this is an opportunity for our current vice president to shine in office, and she's not taking it. And the question is why? Why isn't she taking it?
Even better, we have a current president as well.
We have a current president, and yeah, it's like, why isn't it? I mean, we've heard things about him helping out or talking with Ron DeSantis in Florida about their, hurricane relief efforts and stuff. But why isn't the government putting resources and time and effort into finding lost Americans in North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they doing that?
Why is FEMA out of money?
Why is FEMA out of money? Yeah. And why? Here's another thing. They send a bunch of FEMA people to North Carolina to help with the effort. They're not really helping, but they're all in the hotels that are in that area. And so now these people that have lost their houses, they have nowhere to go because the hotels are already booked up with
people there to
FEMA
help.
people.
Yeah.
And so,
quote unquote help.
Yeah. So we kind of left the candidates there for a minute to talk about that.
Yeah. Sorry. But I mean, that's kind of part of it, right?
That's where my heart is right now. My heart is aching for the loss and devastation that happened in North Carolina. And to me right now, there's a direct link to the lack of response from our government.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens that one of the candidates running for the presidential election this year, in less than 2 weeks,
tomorrow, if you're listening
when
to
this airs
right now.
tomorrow, sorry, when we're recording it, it's in
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. But they're doing minimal, if anything.
I mean, going on both sides. I mean, Trump is out there literally flipping burgers to promote himself.
Yeah. And he did go before,
Mm-hmm.
he did go and check it out and talked about it and tried to promote like, hey, this is what's happening or whatever. But you're right. He's moved on. He's whatever the next news cycle is, he's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not talking like he has an opportunity to bring it up in his campaign. Like, hey, his moment to shine is, hey, I'm not president right now.
And here I am.
But if I was, we'd be done with the rescue efforts in North Carolina.
He should honestly.
But he's not saying anything.
No, he should have stopped everything he was doing and gone and helped and still been there helping.
I don't know if I agree with that like
particularly
he should be on the ground like doing stuff, but he does have to go around and campaign. But while he's campaigning, why isn't he checking in? Why isn't he bringing it up? And he could be like what we did. He could share how people can help, because if the government's not helping, then we need to band together as citizens to help. So he could be promoting that end of it. Like, hey, since our government tax dollars aren't going to it, here's where you can go to help these people out. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of that. So I would like to see more of that from him. And I'm not seeing any of that from Kamala Harris. So she needs to step up if she wants to be president. She needs to step up and help
and
America.
prove that she is what she's claiming she's going to do for this country.
Yeah. Yep.
Because she's there now. What is she doing?
Exactly. So we're going to go into the second half of this. We've talked about the candidates. We've given, they've listed what their platforms are running for. And we will link the PDF files in the show notes for this episode. So if you want to go and read through them and review them before you go on election day to vote, they'll be in the show notes and you can pull them up and check them out and see what their plans are, both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. But getting into the Bible, what does the Bible say about leadership? What do you think?
Not the stuff either candidate is currently doing.
Yeah. So I am going to pull up in my King James Version Bible.
What does it say?
Doeth
Does it say to thee?
Yeah. So I'm going to go to Mark 10. And I'm not going to read the full story. I encourage you to, if you have the opportunity to, but it's Mark chapter 10, 35 through 45. And basically what's happening is two of Jesus's disciples, the sons of Zebedee, John and James, are coming to Christ and asking, can we be set at your right hand and at your left? And, Jesus is like, can you take the cup that I'm going to drink from? Can you be baptized under my baptism? And basically like, can you handle what I have to handle?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, we can. And Jesus is like, you say you can, and in fact, you will for my name's sake. But it is not for me to decide who sits at my right and who sits at my left, but the Lord, like the Father, God the Father. And then the other disciples get upset that the two disciples asked Jesus to be set above them. And Jesus goes into this spill, starting in verse 42. But Jesus called them to him and saith unto them, ye know that they who are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and their great ones exercise authority upon them. But so shall it not be among you. But whosoever would be great among you shall be your minister. And whosoever of you would be the chiefest shall be servant of all. For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. Now that word minister can also be translated as servant or serve. So you could say, for the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve. So that is a direct example of biblical leadership. You do not set yourself up over people and lord over them and demand of them and force upon them your will. That's what the world does. But Christ calls us to live as he lives, and Christ is the king. He is the king over all creation.
Christ is Lord.
Christ is Lord, and the kingdom is now. But he makes the point, like, I'm God. Like, I'm over all of this. But I'm down here on earth, humbly serving the least of humanity because of my love for you. And so when you believe in me, you are called to that standard, not to elevate yourself and set yourself above others. You are called to set yourself beneath and humbly serve others, and potentially be willing to lay down your life for the sake of others. And you do this in love. And that's what you're called to do, because Christ did all these things because of his love for his creation. Because you and I both agree, we're sinners.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is. All have fallen short of the glory of God. No one is righteous. No, not one. And so we need someone to save us. We can't save ourselves. And Jesus makes it clear he came to save us. He came to deliver us from our sins and rescue us from the final judgment that is for everyone who does not believe. And Jesus says, believe in me, follow me, love me as I have loved you, and you will be with me in heaven, and you will be in the throne room of God, and you will live forever with us in total perfect unity and love. And so all we have to do is believe. There's not 10 steps. There's not different levels of attaining. It's just believing in Christ and trusting in that salvation. So that's kind of the big takeaway for servant leadership. For leadership, biblical leadership is a servant to all in humility for the sake of loving others as Christ has loved us.
And the question is, in all our options for a leader in this country, do we see those traits in them?
Correct. Yeah. So I did want to bring that up. Like, who do you see that in? Who do you see a humble servant as a leader? I don't
honestly, it's neither full traits. And I guess look for those traits as best you can at this point in stage and with these options.
It is important to bring that. It is important to bring that up. As Christians, we can't vote on, it sounds awful. If you have the ability to vote on somebody for their character, do so. If they have good character, vote for them. But unfortunately, we're really kind of stuck in voting for policy. Like, what are the policies that we want? That's really what we're voting for now, because the corruption of our country has become so rampant and so bad that it's not about picking the best person. It's about picking the lesser of two evils.
Mm-hmm.
And really, that's how it's always been, because, every president that's been in the United States is human. They're not perfect. They're not righteous. They're not holy. They are sinners who are in need of a savior. And I think some of them throughout history have been, have embraced the righteousness of Christ in their life and are believers and seek the Lord. I can't tell you if either of the main candidates that are running are devout. I don't really know, because the fruit, well, one, I don't know them. So that is another big thing I wanted to bring up. I can't tell you by their character. From what I've seen, I could not tell you if they are a devout believer. The biggest sign for me is if you believe, if you condone abortion, that tells me you do not have Christ in your life, because Christ makes it clear that it is better for someone to have a millstone tied around their neck and thrown into the sea than to lead astray these little ones.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about children to his disciples. He's like, hey, children are valued and they are loved. And it's not going to go well for anyone who leads astray or discards kids, because God has a place in his heart for children. And so if you abuse and attack children, then there's some serious problems coming your way unless you repent. So that's my big thing. Democratic Party, if you're pro-abortion, I'm going to question if you are serving Christ as Lord, solely because of that, because you're okay with killing the image of God in the womb. So, and that doesn't really line up with the morality of Christ. And that goes for a lot of things. I mean, if you're okay with sex out of marriage, if you're okay with it, you don't think it's wrong, then there's a heart issue in your life, and you need to get that corrected, because God makes it clear that practice is set apart for the covenant of marriage between one man and one woman. So if you condone that and you're okay with that, then you're distorting the covenant that God has set down. And you have a problem with God being the authority in your life. And you know what? There's grace. You can repent of that and you can be forgiven of that. And God will love you and embrace you for, even though you've been a sinner, he will still love and embrace you.
We are sinners, but we are also under that grace that we are allowed to come back from anything we have done.
There is no amount of sin that locks you out of heaven. There's only your choice to reject God. Exactly. If you're a sinner, God's waiting for you. He wants you to come to him, and he wants to forgive you of all your sins, and he wants to lift you up in perfect love and be in his presence. He wants to set you and establish you with a group of God-fearing brothers and sisters who love you and want to lead you closer to God and want to help you rise up above that sin. Don't believe the lie of the enemy that I'm too dirty to come to the Father. That's not true. That's a lie. There's no such thing as someone who is too dirty or too sinful to be forgiven.
What's even better is, yes, you are too dirty, but he still accepts you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Another verse that I really liked.
Not to contradict you on that.
No, you're right. If we're really going to be honest about it, we are all awful. But God still loves us.
Mm-hmm.
And his grace is still there for us. So, 1 Chronicles 16:11, seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his presence continually. To me, that's a powerful verse, especially if you're a leader. Who better to take leadership, direction, and advice from than the creator of the universe, who is over all things? So seeking the Lord and seeking God's strength and his presence continually, you will succeed as a leader. I don't really know if our candidate options are doing that, solely because of the lack of God's presence in their rhetoric. So that's just, I know for me in the day-to-day, like when I'm walking around talking to people or interacting with people, Christ is brought up eventually. At some point in the conversation, I make the point to say or I make it clear hey, I don't live for the world, I live for the kingdom. Because I love Jesus and he loves me. I just got a big old yawn.
Oh, somebody's a tired boy.
Somebody's a sleepy boy. But yeah, I've got a couple other verses. They'll be posted in the show notes. Kind of look at. A good one's Joshua 1:18. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. So talking about the context of that verse is Joshua is the leader of Israel. They're about to go into the promised land, and God has closed out the books of Moses, or the law of Moses, and said to Joshua, this is the law of God. Take this and be in it continually so that things will go well for you. So what we can take from that today in our time and age, we've got the word of God. We've got the words of life. They're in the Bible. They are the Bible. We've got that. If we take this advice and we apply it to God's word, things will go well for us. I'm not preaching prosperity gospel. I'm just saying our mind will be fixed on that eternal glory, and everything else that's going on in our lives, it won't be that big. It'll be very small in comparison to eternity, and we'll be able to focus, and we'll be able to have that joy, and we'll be able to live in that love because we know who God is because of his perfect word. So as a leader, you need to be in God's word regularly. You need to be meditating on God's word. You need to understand what it is to love one another, and you're not going to be able to get that unless you are in God's word. Then you'll start to understand the love of God. So yeah, that's what I've got. That's kind of the end of that segment for leadership. Talked about the candidates, kind of talked about kind of where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about what we should look for in a candidate going forward.
Correct. Moving forward, look for somebody who is going to be humble, who's going to be seeking the Lord first and making it clear that they are seeking the Lord. And who's all about love, the love of Christ. So whoever that candidate is, go for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or girl.
Well, I was about to say, not to be sexist.
Or gal.
As long as they have those traits, there's nothing wrong with having a female leader.
Yeah. Yep. All right. We're winding down now.
So we're going to come back. We left it for a little while. By the way, this is our Tyler transition.
Tyler, we are transitioning. We are moving out of that topic and into this topic.
Don't want to get
We're
copyright
dancing.
strike singing over the song.
Anyways,
so we left a certain part of the room. We left a corner of the room for a couple of weeks. Why do I sound weird?
why do you sound weird?
Testing one. Okay, I'm back to
You're
normal.
back to normal. That was weird.
That was I sounded weird. Oh, so anyways, we left the corner to go to our
Internet corner.
Our internet corner.
Yep.
Our creepy pasta corner.
Yep.
But we're going to head back to our cryptid corner
Cryptic corner.
because we were out of the spooky season.
We're out of the spooky season. We're back to the day to day.
Is this it right here? I'm pointing at this corner right here. Is this the cryptid corner?
Yep.
If that's what I thought.
And you guys will find out about that tomorrow.
For the first time seeing the set.
That's right. And it will be more complete than it is right now.
You better get on that.
Yeah, for real. Anyways, what do you know about dinosaurs?
Nothing at all.
What do you know about First Nations peoples?
First Nations peoples?
Otherwise known as Native Americans or indigenous people or Indians. What do you know about them?
I know that they are the subject of this week's Cryptid Corner. And I'm going to guess, based off of what you're saying, we are going to be talking about a creature that is dinosaur-like with the indigenous people. We're talking about the Thunderbird.
The Thunderbird. That's right. So a lot of, historically speaking, it looks like on the totem poles and on the rocks that they ride on and stuff, it looks like a giant bird. It's got a beak. It's got the wings, like feathery looking wings. That's how it's depicted. So it's like, okay, it's just a massive bird.
So is it a pterodactyl?
Not a pterodactyl. It's the other one, the pterodon, something like that. It looks like a pterodactyl, but it's bigger.
Get your son. He loves dinosaurs.
Yeah, for real. Now we got to look it up. But anyways, so that's allegedly what people think. It's this prehistoric creature from the past that somehow survived in the North America.
Not necessarily the Jurassic era.
No.
Or the Cretaceous period.
Mm-mm.
But dinosaur times.
Correct. The pterodon. Pteranodon.
I love how we're pronouncing the P's.
A potato. Anyways. Giant flying dinosaur. Indians said it was there. Giant bird. They called it the Thunderbird. And they looked at it almost in a deifying way. A deifying way. Yeah. Making it godlike.
They worship it as their deity.
Mm-hmm. In the 1800s, in the same town where the OK Corral happened, the shootout, right? Tombstone, is a group of cowboys who claim to have shot down a giant bird. And it made it into the Tombstone, I think it's called the Gazette, is what it is. But they, shot down a giant bird. They said it was kind of like leathery wings, super long wingspan, massive. And so that kind of like a dinosaur. So it was never verified. They could not verify it. Allegedly, there was a picture that they took of it in the 1800s. You know, like that's a really old. It takes like 5 minutes to take one picture.
And then even longer to get it developed.
Yep.
Months.
The picture was never found. And
so it's just more word of mouth. Oh, we had a picture of this thing.
Yeah, we've got a picture, but it never got published in the paper, and no one has found it. So it's kind of just allegedly they shot down a giant bird that looks like a pterodon. Now, that's then. And now...
So they shot it down. So what we're saying now is there's multiple, and we have one today.
So there are several videos that have come out kind of more in the between 2013, 2016 time frame. There's like 2 to 3 videos that people took while they were hiking in, out west, kind of like Colorado, Utah, that area. They're hiking in the mountains and they see something flying and they take a video and, the thing turns its head just the right way and you see that it's got a beak, but it's also got something shooting out the backside of its head. And this thing's massive. I mean, when you look at it on, camera, like the way it looks on a camera and the way it looks in real life, the sizes are 2 different things, right? But this is very clearly a very large bird from the shot that they're getting.
How large is large?
I'm trying to think of what scale I could give.
How many pennies stacked on each other? 1 trillion pennies.
To me, like if when I watched the videos, it was the equivalent of like 2 bald eagles.
Okay.
A bald eagle's wingspan and body, like slap 2 of those bad boys together and you get whatever this was that was.
So not really quite the size of like an actual large dinosaur, but a very large bird, all the same.
Larger than any bird that we've got today.
Documented.
So it was large and it did have that protrusion coming out of the backside of its head. And so the question is are the videos staged or are they real? So that's really the big thing. But people have been seeing these thunderbirds in more recent years in Western North America. And there's historical legends that they existed. And we've got documentation that they were in North America at some point because we've got bones and we've got fossils. So they were here at one point. And apparently they're here again. So that's kind of Thunderbird. Nothing too crazy. There's not like abductions and spooky.
So it's just this like unobtainable creature that past people have seen, but we don't see, but there might be evidence that it exists.
If the videos are real, then there's at least one that is flying around in North America, out west.
What I find like kind of funny in this, and this isn't me like judging one way or another on it, it's just funny to me. It's like, yeah, we saw them all the time in ancient times, and now we see something, but it's always just its tail or a quick little feather and, that kind of thing. Or it's very blurry images.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what to make of it. the videos are very short, and of course they're iPhone videos, so they're not like super stable.
What are you trying to say?
Trying to say it's like when I was trying to take a picture of that laser that was shooting through the sky.
Oh yeah, that thing that didn't actually happen.
Oh my dude, that truly
Mm-hmm.
that experience.
Tell that story, because I am messing with you.
I will in a second, but that experience is the sole reason that I am open to extraterrestrial life. I think they're demonic, but I'm still saying like it's still like the idea of what we call aliens. I'm open to it now solely because of that experience that I had.
And also, you trying to take a quick photo of it is also why you are saying you believe that these images could be shaky and blurry with today's technology.
I'm more skeptical of clear images and clear videos than I am of the shaky stuff. To me, if it's really shaky and you barely make out whatever it is and it's kind of blurry, that's a real reaction, because like you're panicking or you're super excited and you're just trying to make something happen, but you're not doing that great. If it's a really clear shot, to me, it's like, okay, that's staged. No one's that calm when something this crazy happens. So
tell your story.
So my wife and I were my family has property, and we were doing a celebration, and we were winding down for the night. So it was dark outside. I think it was like probably around like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Mm-hmm. Stars are out. It's beautiful.
Clear sky.
Clear sky. Stars are out. We are walking to the car to put kids in the car. And she says, wow, look at that green light in the sky. And to me, I'm thinking like, oh, like, it's a plane or it's a reflection of something or whatever. I look up and it is two, like, the way I explain it is, if you ever watch Star Wars, whenever there's a space battle and there's two big cruisers that are shooting at each other,
it's those lines,
those beams of lights that are the shots from their cannons or whatever. That's what it looked like. It was two beams of green light that were just shooting through the sky. It wasn't a continuous thing. It had a front and a back, and it was just a beam, like a green pole looked like, and it was just shooting through the sky. It was far off, way higher than any plane would be flying. But it was just, I'm sorry. Let me back up a little bit. It was not just two beams. It was streams of beams. So it's like, 5 rounds of shots. Okay.
So like a pulsating laser across a bar.
Yeah.
And two of them side by side.
Mm-hmm.
Moving very quickly across the sky.
Very quickly across the sky. And so it looks like something like shot, like pew, 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 pew. You know what I mean? So it was like several shots side by side shooting across the sky. And we were like, my wife and I were like freaking out in the moment. We're like, what the?
You whipped out your phone. You tried to get video.
Yeah, I was holding a kid and trying to get my phone out to take a picture. And the stupid iPhone was trying to get the flash going, and it was like sitting in one spot for a long time to capture whatever. But by that moment, the light had already passed. And so it was like I was trying to move it to follow the light. It wasn't a good picture, is what I'm trying to get at.
What's funny is what I remember is I was there that night.
Yeah.
And everybody was still chilling in the living room, and y'all bust back in like, y'all need to come see this.
Yeah.
And we all went outside, and there was nothing there.
And it was gone.
It was gone.
By the time that we got...
quote unquote, gone.
By the time that we got back inside and told everybody and everyone came outside, there was nothing. It had moved on, whatever it was. So, we kind of looked into it a little bit, and my wife's convinced that it's Starlink. I'm not. So people have said, like, you can see Starlink from Earth. Sometimes it passes by and you can see it. And this is what it looks like. And I looked at all the videos. I looked at all the pictures. Dude, it looked nothing like what I saw. It looked nothing like what I saw. My wife, I guess because, I don't know, to her, that convinced her. Like, okay, we saw Starlink. But to me, I'm not convinced. I don't think I saw Starlink. I saw something else.
So this is the invitation to all our listeners. Bring proof. Bring us proof and prove John wrong.
Yeah.
This was Starlink.
I don't even know if I still have the picture. I'm going to.
Did that picture magically get deleted from your phone?
That would be funny if it did.
Yeah, that's something I've seen in a lot of the conspiracy videos is like if somebody does have proof, the picture, like let's say Bigfoot, just magically gets deleted from their phone. I had proof, but the government hacked my phone and deleted my one image.
Did that happen this year? Or was that last year?
I remember listening to it on that podcast this year. I don't know if it actually happened this year, but they talked about it on the podcast me and you listened to.
Talked about what?
Bigfoot and the picture. The guy had a picture of Bigfoot.
Oh.
And then but magically back in the day before smartphones, the picture on like his flip phone disappeared. The government hacked his non-smartphone and deleted the picture.
Yeah. I think it was because it was around 4th of July. I think it was last year.
Oh, sorry. You're talking about your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this year.
Because you weren't married yet. That's right. All right, let me see if I can find this thing. We need to wind down.
No, find this picture.
Let me find this picture so that everyone who's listening and not watching.
Listening, we can show them this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just find it later. We'll post it.
Okay.
We got to move on, though.
Yeah. I'll try and find it. If I can find it, I will post it and let everyone see the chaos that we saw.
Which it's all going to be just a very blurry night sky.
Yeah. So that's it. Hopefully you guys will join us tomorrow for our live stream, our first ever live stream. We may have Janelle back on.
Nice.
Who knows? We'll see.
So tune in on YouTube and Twitch.
And we will post links to that on all of our socials.
Okay. So, but yeah, 8 o'clock, tune in. The actual live stream events start at 8. We will have like a pre-roll leading up countdown video that will go live before that, just so that we will have, be established on the web. And that'll be about 30 minutes beforehand. You can hang out, watch a number countdown, and listen to some sweet music.
Sweet music. So, yeah, make sure you join us. We love you guys. We hopefully will see you on the stream. Because if you comment on the live stream, we will respond in live time.
That's right.
So, and maybe we'll even do a couple of call-ins. Who knows?
That's right.
I don't know. We're going to have fun. That's what we're going to do.
That's what we're going to do.
And we want you to have fun with us.
That's right.
So, all right.
So, I want to do my little segment.
Oh, yeah. Okay. we do have a final segment.
So,
and this segment is called
Things Our Wives Say.
Just say things my wife said.
Things my wife says.
We get a little too Mormon-y when we say it that way.
Things our wives say.
Things our wives say.
All right. So, a little build up on this, a little talking, just really quick though. My wife says, I love her dearly, says some really funny things sometimes.
Humorous
things. So I think going forward for at least a couple weeks, hopefully I never run out of things, but if we'll go until I run out of things, but hopefully she'll give me some more material. But at the end of each episode, we'll
just go home. Hey babe, I just need you to be a little bit more outlandish, just so I have material.
Mm-hmm. So just like little things. So ending each week, just a little story of things my wife says.
Great.
So this week, this is just a question. Going back to the
sent in by a viewer.
What's that?
Question sent in by a viewer.
Question sent in by a very specific viewer. We talked about the double quarter pounder.
Yep.
And so earlier in this episode, so this one was I was eating a double quarter pounder.
Okay.
And my wife says, "Is a double quarter pounder at McDonald's a whole pound?"
Well, let's do the math on it.
Let's see here.
You know what? I love your wife dearly. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Praise the Lord that she's in our lives. Okay? Not Ulster, but her degrees in numbers.
Yeah, right. So there's one that happened. You know what? I'll get more content. Let me give you one more.
Okay. All right.
This one, I could not stop laughing.
Okay.
So me and my wife were at the library signing up for library cards because apparently we're an old married couple now.
Yeah.
So decrepit old couple.
Got it.
So we were walking out of the
Extermination.
decrepit old people. And so we were leaving the library and they had a poster up for, it was for a book club.
Yep.
And my wife looks at that picture and says, "Oh, do you think the author's going to be there?" And looking at the picture, I look at the picture, I look back at her and I say, "Baby." That's all I say. I said, looking at the picture, "Baby." She's like, "What?" I look at it again and I'm like,
when was this again? Just repeat what time, like how long ago you guys were doing this?
last Saturday. So like 4 days ago.
Okay. All right.
So I go look at her. I'm like, "Baby." "What?" "Baby." "What?" I said, "Look at the picture." The book was about Matthew Perry. And then she's standing there, looks at it one more time and goes, "Oh no."
Oh my gosh, dude.
So for those of you who don't know, Matthew Perry is dead.
Yeah.
He is no longer there for you. And with that, we're going to end the episode.
Here we go. That's the end of it. Well, we love you guys. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. Like, comment, share. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe.
That's right.
Christ is Lord.
And the kingdom is, hold on, wait for it, now. I always wanted to make a joke ASMR channel.
Mm-hmm.
I always want to do it just like a really just like obese Southern man and call it ASMR Bubba. And this is how it goes. This is ASMR Bubba. Here we go. Howdy. This is me chewing tobacco.
Oh my God. I can't do it. Oh man.